Hey, what's up? John Sonmez here from simpleprogrammer.com. And today I'm going to be talking about premature optimization. Don't get that wrong, optimization. That's right, I know what you're thinking, but premature optimization. So this question comes from Carsey, and Carsey says, as I was researching hosting options for a website, I was thinking, what would happen if I got 10 million users in a matter of a few days? So I began looking at services like AWS and Google Cloud. After some more research, I thought of you and premature optimization. I'm a sophomore in high school. I don't have money to be nickel and dimed into this AWS stuff, at least not immediately. But I also don't want to fail just because of bad hosting. What should I do? Thanks again, Carsey. He's got some additional info. He's working on a messaging website. Oh, I've actually answered the question. Similar to Saraha. If it becomes more popular than that, I'd like to be able to handle it easily. Okay, so here's what I'll say about this. You're right. Your instincts are right. Do not premature optimize, okay? If you get 10 million users in one day, that's a pretty good problem to have. You'll be able to solve that problem when you have that problem. Now, again, let's not be stupid here, okay? If you really are getting traction and you see a growth curve or you have the chance of having an exponential viral growth curve, you got to be prepared for that capacity-wise. But you haven't even launched the thing yet, right? You don't know if it's going to be successful, right? You can limit this in some ways. You can if you're really concerned about this is what I would do, is just make it so that you can only sign up by invite, and make it so that other people have to invite other people, so you can control and you can send them an email when it's okay for them to register, right? So you can control how many people are able to register at one time. A lot of companies that scaled up and went viral did this, right? I remember Gmail doing this at one point. I remember, who else did this? I think Dropbox did this at one point. There are a couple other companies. I signed up for some silly credit card thing, and I haven't even seen them launch, but they did this, okay? So this is a decent strategy, but ultimately, I mean, you're probably not gonna have this problem. And again, I said this in a previous video that I think I answered for you, where I said I'm not a pessimist, I'm an optimist, but I'm telling you that most of the things are not gonna go viral, and most likely they're not gonna. So you don't want to plan for, again, you don't want to be blindsided by the unexpected, but you don't want to plan for the unlikely, right? You should plan for the likely, okay? And you should be prepared for the unlikely. So there's a big difference. I did this video on planning versus preparation, okay? And you should watch this video. It might help you in this situation. You plan for the likely, you be prepared for the unlikely, right? And what does that mean in this context, right? So your plan of what you actually invest time and money in and actually go through the thought process of is the likely stuff. The stuff that you prepare for, the unlikely stuff, what does that mean? It means that you have a couple of possible things that you could do that you don't spend a lot of time planning, but just like the scenarios, these oh shit scenarios that you prepare for, right? Or you build your own capacity to be able to handle situations. That's like building your self-development. That's like building your tolerance, your emotional maturity. Those are the things that, like, preparing when the shit hits the fan, right? Okay, so that's the preparing part of it. So in this particular case, like I said, I wouldn't, launch the site. Limit the user, throttle it if you want to at the beginning and see how it does. And if you see that there might be exponential growth, you see that there's some virality to it and it is catching on, then start thinking about AWS. Then start thinking, right? This is a good problem to have because you can solve this problem, right? No one ever is going to. It's not like you're going to miss an opportunity because you missed one spike of traffic. I mean, yes, you can miss like a small opportunity, but if your thing is going to be successful, it's not going to be because all of a sudden 10 million visitors came to the site in one day. That's not going to happen, right? You're not going to make or break based on that one thing. You're not the Super Bowl. If you're the Super Bowl, it makes a difference, right? You got to be ready to handle it then. Otherwise, you're done. Okay, you're going to lose a lot of money, but that's not the case in this circumstance. So don't premature optimize. Just get the site up there. Just get it out there. Like I said, you can throttle the users if you want to for now, and it's better to launch the thing and get it out there. And if it's going to fail, it fails, rather than spending a whole bunch of time getting caught up on trying to orchestrate the perfect storm for what happens if things go viral, because most of the time it's not going to happen, right? I hope it does happen for you, but if it does, that'll be a great problem to have. But yeah, don't waste the time and the money. I will give you one resource so that you might want to use. I mean, it's something to think about. Microsoft has this program called BizSpark, right? And if you're starting a new business, you can like get it for I think like 2 or 3 years, and they'll give you a whole bunch of their Amazon or their cloud, Azure cloud service credits, so you can scale up, and you could use that if you want to. But I honestly, I wouldn't worry about this problem at this point. I would just get a small server, very small cost, and put it up, and like I said, throttle the users for now if you're concerned. And then if you do have the problem, it's a great problem to have, and there's plenty of people that will help you solve it when you've got the users coming in. Trust me, I'll help you solve it. I'll give you some money. Honestly, like if you're having the problem of you can't handle 10 million users, we'll figure it out. You call me up, we'll figure this shit out. All right, that's all I got for you today. Good question. You can email me if you have a question at john@simpleprogrammer.com, and make sure you click the subscribe button below so you don't miss any videos. Click the bell, and I'll talk to you next time. Take care.